Gen Z fighters are taking over UFC, but everyone's too busy hyping all legends. First off, we are talking about athletes born after 96. These guys grew up with YouTube highlights, TikTok reels, and mainly access to cutting-edge training. That's an entirely new perspective. No huge biceps or testosterone pouring out of your veins. Why? Because MMA isn't a bodybuilding competition. Nowadays, it's about speed, endurance, and technical precision. Raw power is outdated. Instead, intelligence and efficiency are in. These fighters grew up in a time when science-backed training methods are the norm. Recovery routines, nutrition plans, and even mental coaching are all part of their daily grind. But here is where it gets interesting. Gen Z fighters aren't just fighters, they are influencers, content creators, and brands. These kids grew up with social media, they are masters of it. But how is it beneficial? They are controlling the narrative, engaging directly with their audience, and bringing a whole new level of hype to their fights. This direct engagement also allows them to monetize their personal brands faster, building wealth and security even before hitting the pinnacle of their careers. Think about it, when you and all your coaches have the access to all the best fights on YouTube, you are going to come into the sport with a huge advantage. Okay, let's go through the top names that confirm what it means to be Gen Z fighter. First one, my favorite because he's born in the same year as me, Raul Roses Jr. A kid who looks like he still gets carded at the movies, but can submit grown men with ease. At 19, he became the youngest fighter to ever sign with the UFC. He's all about pressure and creativity, and fans cannot get enough of it. If there is one thing Gen Z fighters have in spades, it's confidence. Call it arrogance if you want, but these kids don't just believe in themselves, they back it up. And Raul Roses Jr., he asked for a bonus after decision 29-28. That's just hilarious. Okay, I know Sean O'Malley is born 94, but he's the ultimate Gen Z champion. Rainbow hair, anime drip, open relationship, and Snoop Dogg lifestyle. He's not just a fighter, he's a brand. Love him or hate him, O'Malley embodies the new generation's vibe. Iron Gary dubbed the next Conor McGregor. Gary has the charisma and the skills to back it up. He has won my heart when he came up against Shavkat Rakhmonov on a short notice and lost narrowly. He doesn't care about the record, he's here for the engagement and the attraction of the fight game. Gary's biggest strength, definitely his confidence. You can see it in every punch, every interview. He truly believes he's destined for greatness. Next name is a name that's quietly gaining serious momentum. Peyton Talbot. Undefeated and making it look easy. What makes Talbot stand out is definitely his Instagram. Mohamed Mukaev, that guy is a problem. Undefeated, Dagestani roots and named Mohamed. His ground game is suffocating and his gas tank seems limitless. That's a scary combo for any opponent. Plus, he brings that aura of a troublemaker, much like John Jones. And I really think UFC will bring him back soon, maybe even for a title shot. If you're not paying attention to Mokaev, you are missing out. Christian Rodriguez doesn't get the spotlight he deserves. He made headlines by beating Raul Roses Jr. and his composure in that fight was impressive, at least. He waits for his moment and when he strikes, it's precise. Okay, now to prove Gen Z is literally taking over, let's talk about some fights where the new school made the old guard look, well, old. Raul Roses Jr. was barely old enough to legally fight, and he absolutely smoked Ricky Turcios. It wasn't even close. Roses' pace and creativity made Turcios regret the start of the fight. That's called karma. Okay, I know Shavkat was born in 94, but hear me out. His fighting style screams new era. Against Jeff Neal, Shavkat showed that the new generation isn't just about flashy moves. They are well-rounded killers. Striking, grappling, calm under pressure, double check. It's clear that Gen Z has many advantages. Gen Z are using cryotherapy, hyperbaric chambers, and personalized nutrition plans. They are training smarter, not just harder. Recovery science alone has changed the game. Fighters can push harder in training because they know how to recover properly. That's a massive advantage. Next point is social media and branding. And for example, young Gary gets it. He knows that being a UFC star isn't just about what you do in the cage. It's maybe more about building a brand. Gen Z fighters grew up with Instagram and TikTok, and they know how to leverage social media to boost their profiles and bank accounts. But there's a flip side. One wrong move on social media can backfire pretty fast. Let's be real, money changes the game. More money also means better access to top-tier coaches, nutritionists, and facilities. It's just game changer and you cannot deny it. Raul Roses Jr. has already poked $200,000 in just performance bonuses. Even though Roses even works side gigs as a cashier. Maybe it's for content, maybe it's just to stay ground. Either way, it's a unique move. Gen Z fighters aren't specialists, they are hybrids. Back in the day, you did boxing and only boxing. Wrestling was just a word in the dictionary. Gen Z trains everything: striking, grappling, wrestling, jiu-jitsu. But as Rocky said,
the world ain't all sunshine and rainbows. It's a very mean and nasty place, and I don't care how tough you are, it will beat you to your knees and keep you there permanently if you let it.
Here are some serious challenges these young fighters have to face. Everyone wants to be the next McGregor or Khabib. That means Gen Z fighters are facing tougher opponents from day one. Every prospect is now a potential star. The margin for error is razor thin. The pressure to perform is insane. Social media isn't always your friend. One bad performance and the internet will roast you. The pressure to be perfect can weigh heavily on these young athletes. This isn't just about winning fights, it's about protecting their brand. That's a whole new kind of pressure. And also, they have shorter time to prove themselves. The UFC isn't the waiting around. If you don't perform, you are out. You may win, but if those wins are boring, you are out. The competition is so fierce that even promising fighters can get cut if they don't deliver. In this era, a few losses or cancelled fights can derail a career. There's a little room for second chances. Okay, so what's next? With fighters like Roses Jr., Gary and Nick leading the charge, the UFC's future looks brighter and younger. But it's not just about the big names. Keep an eye on fighters like Muhammad Mokaev and Erin Blanchfield, or completely different guys in smaller local promotions. They are part of this wave too, and they are climbing the ranks fast. The takeover is just happening. By 2030, we will be looking at UFC dominated by Gen Z champions. A reality that seemed impossible just a few years ago, yet nowadays with guys like Ilya Topuria, it's more than obvious. Gen Z isn't just the future of the UFC, they are the present. They are faster, smarter, and more connected than any generation before them. They are making bold moves, changing the game, and making MMA more exciting than ever.